Oh my gosh.
Who
No,
tips
he's
the
not
skull?
wearing her hair. Shiver Me Timbers. That's another Popeye slasher movie. So does that make 4? All right, let's get into this next piece here before we check out the trailer. This is coming to us from Bloody Disgusting, written by Alex DiVincenzo. Poohniverse slasher Pinocchio Unstrung set for summer theatrical release. And that's your picture of Pinocchio. It says, get ready to wish upon a star this summer. Pinocchio Unstrung has set its North American theatrical release for July 24th from Viva Pictures, Variety reports. The chilling reimagining of the familiar fable unfolds inside an elite London prep school created by Geppetto and influenced by a sinister cricket. Pinocchio launches a violent crusade to carve himself into a real boy like his brother, one piece at a time. Richard Brake from Barbarian stars as the obsessive Geppetto, with horror icon Robert Englund as the voice of Jiminy Cricket. Pinocchio is voiced by Jude Evan Lloyd and brought to life via a practical animatronic created by Todd Masters from Tales from the Crypt and Slither. Cameron Bell, Jessica Balmer, Jack Art Gray, and Peter D'Souza Faney round out the cast. I like that they're using animatronics. That's one thing I really enjoy. That's one of the reasons why I love the Child's Play movies so much and the Chucky series so much is the animatronics. So I'm very excited about that. Rhys Frake Waterfield from Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey writes and directs the British slasher in addition to producing alongside Scott Jeffrey via their Jagged Edge Productions. Pinocchio Unstrung had its world premiere at last month's Brussels International Fantastic Film Festival, where an attendee passed out due to the extreme gore. Probably a person who's never seen a horror movie before. I doubt anyone just got a chill. Whenever I caught chills like that when I was a kid, my great grandmother said that's because a spirit is passing through you. I don't know, but I still get those chills every now and then. Kal-El says, actually looks interesting, but haven't seen anything from this universe. But honestly, obsessive Geppetto scares me already. They got to change that name at some point. Where was I? Yeah, they're saying that an attendee passed out due to the extreme gore. I mean, nobody passed out at Terrifier 3, that is. But we'll see. We'll see. In its 5th entry in the Twisted Childhood universe, following Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and its sequel, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, and Bambi the Reckoning, the Poohniverse will continue with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3, currently in production, and the crossover film Poohniverse Monsters Assemble, slated to shoot this summer. Very, very interesting. I did not see all of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I saw the beginning of it, and then I had something to do, so I turned it off. I was going to come back to it, and I never got a chance. I did see Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. That was horrible. It was atrocious. It was a waste of my time. I have not seen Bambi the Reckoning, but I have heard really good things about Bambi the Reckoning. A lot of people said it was fairly decent. So, you guys ready to check out this trailer for Pinocchio Unstrung? The mean one was not in the Poohniverse. There's also the Steamboat Willie, and there was also Popeye the Slasher. Was it Popeye the Slasher Man or Popeye the? I can't remember. There was like 3 different Popeye slasher movies, but they are not part of the Poohniverse. That's something separate. There's a bunch of movies coming out. Even the Cinderella, or what was it called? The Ugly Stepsister, which was basically Cinderella, not part of the Poohniverse, but all part of public domain horror. Cal says, is it really called the Poohniverse? Yes. Yeah, it is. Dell movies got it. Popeye the Slayer Man. Yes, I saw Popeye the Slayer Man, and there was also 2 other Popeye movies I watched. Tony Man says, the Pooh movie was shot too damn dark. That's why we shut it up. Well, to be fair, we were not watching I'll call it sanctioned copy. We were kind of Captain Jack Sparrowing that whole situation. So maybe watching it on a sanctioned streaming site, it's probably clearer. Kal-El says, dear God, I'll let that slide. And in PM, Allegedly interrupted. Welcome to the stream. Hi. And I see that you have put up the live long and prosper symbol. Live long and prosper. All right, let's get into this trailer right quick.
It's always hard losing someone you love. I'm sorry I had to experience all that so young.
I wish Zach was still here. It doesn't feel the same anymore.
Come down. There's someone here I want you to meet. I just thought.
All right, off the rip, this is very dark as well. So maybe Blood and Honey was that dark. Because this is super dark. Like, turn up the light just a little bit. Let us see what you're trying to show us.
You could use a friend. This could be good for the both of you. It's alive.
Why is his eyes watering?
It's like white boys that made different from you. Organs and stuff.
I want to be just like you.
No, you don't. You're way cooler than me.
Oh no, don't be pulling on your lip and that would wake me up.
They have piece by piece to make yourself whole.
Who are you?
Name's Cricket. Piece by piece.
Wait, he's saying his name is Cricket, but I think you've collapsed two characters into one. You've mixed Jiminy Cricket with Tinkerbell. Jiminy Cricket didn't have wings because he was a cricket. But this Jiminy Cricket is also Tinkerbell. So that's interesting. Okay.
We'll take everything you need to be real.
It's to ride on the back of the
What the
car.
hell is he?
Pinocchio!
Oh, she about to get got. Oh my gosh. No, he's not wearing her hair. He's wearing her hair.
One hell of a glow up.
Oh, this is about to be like Jack Frost. I love it. I love it. This is about to be like Jack Frost and the Ginger Dead Man. I like the Ginger Dead Man. I like Jack Frost. I feel like this is going to be like that. Soon as she stepped out of the shower, and his nose went through her foot, and then he's still wearing her hair, by the way. He got her hair. He scalped her and put her hair on. This is some crazy stuff, and I'm here for it. I love it.
Kid.
Think Geppetto is hiding something.
My belief that the soul does indeed remain after death.
Call the police.
Ooh.
Well, I tell them what, Dudley,
was
that
that?
I have some dollars on the loose.
Wait, what was that thing that set up? Hold up.
My belief that the soul does indeed remain after death.
Yeah, what the heck is that? That looks nasty, though.
Call the police. Well, I tell them what, Dudley, that a homicidal dollar's on the loose.
The subject is dangerous, born evil.
Oh, that's nasty.
I'm going to be a real boy. I'm going to be just like James.
First of all, adult human intestine's not going to fit inside. I'm gonna roll it back. This looks great, by the way. The practical effects on this. That is what this is the type of artwork that I enjoy.
I'm going to be a real boy. I'm going to be just like James.
Oh, hey. Oh, this is gonna be a lot of fun. He jumped off her titty. This is crazy. Hold on.
I'm going to be just like James.
I almost feel like can I slow down the speed on this? Yeah, let's slow down the speed to 0.5. Let me see something. Oh, geez, it's even worse than slow mo. Oh my god. Jump off the titties and then scalp this lady.
No!
Oh, that's great. Well, there's probably one more scene. Oh, dentist.
Give you a smile.
I'm watching that. I don't care. But yeah, that was a lot of fun actually. Dell says, by the way, I had a good time watching Popeye the Slayer Man. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too. If that's the one in the warehouse, not the one in the woods, because there's two Killer Popeye movies, and I think the one in the warehouse was a lot better than the one in the woods. Well, there's actually three. Wait, I got a list. Let me do like this. I made an IMDb list of public domain horrors. Let me pull that list up and I'll tell you the name of those movies. Of the lists that I've made, because I stay making IMDb lists of thrillers, social media horror, modern slasher movies, found footage films. There it is, public domain horrors, which the first of which was all the way back in 1995 with Rumpelstiltskin. See that? Rumpelstiltskin and Pinocchio's Revenge. Speaking of Pinocchio. Yeah. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Mary Had a Little Lamb, by the way. There is a Mary Had a Little Lamb horror movie. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, The Mousetrap, that's one of the Mickey Mouse ones. Cinderella's Revenge, I've not seen yet. Goldilocks and Three Bears, Death and Porridge, have not seen that one yet. Steamboat Willie, Blood on the Water. I saw a Steamboat Willie movie, but I don't remember which one it was because I know there's more than one. The Little Mermaid, by the way, there's a horror Little Mermaid. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, I saw, that was terrible. Mouse of Horrors, I have not seen. That's another Mickey Mouse one. Piglet, I believe, is in the Poohniverse. Popeye's Revenge, that's the other one. There's Popeye the Slayer Man, Popeye's Revenge, that's that one. I have Mouseboat Massacre, that's the one I think I saw. I think I saw Mouseboat Massacre. There's also I Heart Willie. There's multiple of the Mickey Mouse ones there. Shiver Me Timbers. That's another Popeye slasher movie. So does that make 4? That might make 4. Screamboat. Or did I say Screamboat? Did I say Screamboat or did I see Mouseboat Massacre? I didn't realize there were 2 of these. Which one? One of these had David Howard Thornton as the Mickey Mouse. Was that Screamboat? I'm going to look right now and see. Yeah, I saw Screamboat, not Mouseboat Massacre, which you can see here that there's Mouseboat Massacre, and then underneath there is Screamboat. There's another Rumpelstiltskin that came out in 2025. There's another Hook that came out in 2025. Leprechaun the Beginning, 2025. Bambi the Reckoning. Mickey's Sleigh House came out in 2025. Popeye the Slayer Man. Pinocchio Unstrung, which is what we just saw the trailer for. There's also a Pinocchio Unleashed from 2025. And a Pinocchio Unmasked. Then Poohniverse Monsters Assemble. Then there's also the Dark Domain, Mickey versus Winnie, that's in development. The Dark Domain, yeah, there it is. Mickey versus Winnie. They have a poster up for Mickey versus Winnie. And the Mousetrap, Welcome to the Mickeyverse. So that's what we have so far for public domain. Although I have heard rumors of, and I'm going to whisper to you, a Betty Boop movie. I've heard whispers of that. But yeah, there's multiple of the in the Poohniverse. Callow says, Captain Jack, I like that. Allegedly interrupted as like a nervous smiley emoji. Kal-El says, voiceover sounds like Jeremy Irons. It does sound similar. Kal-El says, light makes you aware of the budget shot. Oh, yeah, definitely. Kal-El says, little fusion can help. Tony says, I remember my mom said she called me Jiminy Cricket when I was a kid because I looked like him. Well, I've seen your baby picture, and there it as a infant, like newborn, it was a little Jiminy Cricketish. Kal-El says, Jack Frost from the 90s. Yes, that's the Jack Frost I'm talking about. The one, not the Michael Keaton one, the one with the killer snowman. That Jack Frost. Della Movie says, looks interesting. Perhaps it's so dark because they're trying to hide bad effects. They're probably trying to hide the people that are working the animatronic. And that's something that you have to learn how to do with editing. Because if you notice in the Child's Play movies, most of those are very well lit. And there are people working the animatronics, and somehow they're able to use in-camera tricks or editing to hide the people that are doing the animatronics. And Kal-El says, which Betty Boop though? The one from Harlem or the one from Connecticut? Oh, good question. Because Betty Boop was black. If I entertained you, made you smile, or helped you pass the time, please consider supporting this channel so that I can do that more. Horror channels often get suppressed and demonetized, but you can help in 3 ways: by pledging a monthly contribution on Patreon, sending a one-time tip using your preferred financial app, or you could help for free by liking and commenting for the algorithm, and most importantly, sharing this video on your social media. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to hype this video. Thank you so much.